I really liked cooking and hobbies, and my dad had brewed 20 years ago. And I found the old carboy down in the basement, dragged it back to New York, put a bow on it, and gave it to Steven for Christmas. And I actually didn't drink beer before it. I just cooked a lot and then realized that I hadn't ever had good beer, and I was drinking swill out of a red cup that was generally warm at a college party, and so then got really into making great beers in different styles, and now of course love a lot of different beers. We started in July 2009, just brought everything down to the Brooklyn flea market, and from there it kept growing, so now we're national. We were definitely looking to leave our jobs. We ended up both quitting at the same time, going backpacking through Europe for 7 weeks, going to a lot of really, really amazing breweries, and then launching the business really 3-4 weeks after we got back. Before we even made our first batch, I was reading things online and reading books, and everything I found was either really dumbed down, that was just like pour a can of extract into a pot, or it was super scientific and was telling me to take the pH levels of my water. I cook, so it's like, this doesn't seem like it should be this hard. Monks did it, like everybody brewed beer. So we wanted to simplify it to make it more like cooking without dumbing down the ingredients.
I've always liked beer, and whenever in college I was in a situation with a beer that I've never had before, I would always get it just because I really like trying new things, and just learning about stuff, and I like projects. So once Eric and I started making it, it's when it really took off. Just knowing that you can make beers that you can't find in the store was pretty special. My name is Stephen Valand, and I'm the co-owner of Brooklyn Brew Shop. I am 26. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Making beer is, if you like cooking, you can do it. The first step is pretty much like making oatmeal. You just take the grain that comes with the kit and steep it in hot water. Then from there, you put it in a strainer over a pot, and you run hot water over it. And you boil the liquid that you collect, and that's when you add hops and spices, whatever you want, depending on what kind of beer you like to make. And then you ferment it for 2 weeks, and then you put it into bottles for 2 more weeks, and then it just sits somewhere out of the way, but it goes in the fridge just a few hours before you want to drink it. We usually try to have 6 flavors out at a time, and we change them seasonally. So we change the beers with the seasons of kind of what we like to drink. We have some classic flavors that always stick around, and then we have our seasonal ones that are a little funkier.
What's your personal favorite?
Personal favorite right now is our Bourbon Double. It's a Belgian-style ale that you take oak chips, which come with it, and then you soak those in bourbon overnight, and then you add that to the beer while it's still hot, so it gives you a really nice vanilla charred kick.
I think we're all set.
Just came out with a book with Clarkson Potter, Brooklyn Brew Shop's beer making book, 52 seasonal recipes for small batches, and that was a ton of testing. Then it was also a lot of fun, because what you would put in a book isn't necessarily what you would make into a kit. So that's where the lobster saison came in. That's where some beers that we have a prohibition ale in there, because one of the first markets we were at, this really, really cool old woman came up, and she's like, my husband and I used to do this during Prohibition. And I was like, oh, awesome. And she's like, the key is 4 raisins. And I was like, huh? And she's like, if you put 3 in the bottles, flat. If you put 5, they explode. And I was like, this is amazing. So normally we had a little bit of honey or maple syrup when we bottled, but for the book we wanted to really honor that woman specifically, but also the many men and women that kept brewing alive during Prohibition. And so we did a Prohibition ale that you do carbonate the beer with 4 raisins.
Great.